Today I'm gonna talk about systems of units. In systems of units, there are two types of system. First is metric system, and second is English system. So a metric system is a unit of those in a power of 10, like 10, hundreds, thousands, and so on. Examples are millimeter, centimeter, gram, kilogram, liter, and millimeter. Which 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters, 1 millimeter has 0.1 centimeters, 1 kg has 1000 gram, and 1 gram has 0.001 kg. As for English system, it uses an old system of converting units which doesn't follow by 10. Example, 1 foot equals to 12 inch, 1 yard equals to 3 feet, 1 mile equal to 1760 yard, and 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet. 1 inch equals to 2.54 centimeter, 1 slug equals to 14.59 kg, 1 kg equals to 2.2 pounds, and 1 horsepower equals to 746 watt. Questions of example of English question. Question number 1. Convert 2.36 kilometer into foot. Okay, so we need to convert 2.36 to foot. First, we need to cancel out kilometer, and we need to think of something that can cancel out a kilometer, which is kilometer could be cancelled out by another kilometer. So first we add 1000 meter over 1 kilometer so that we can cancel out this kilometer and this kilometer. So now there's only 1000 meter left. 1000 meter, a meter we need to change it into foot. So we need to use this. 1 meter equals to 3.228 foot. So we write it as 3.28 foot over 1 meter. And don't forget this parenthesis. And now we can cancel out this meter, and we'll calculate it as 2.36 times 1000 times 3.28 equals to 7740.8. The unit is foot because our foot is the only thing or the only units left. As for question number 2, convert 12.58 slug to pounds. So we need something to cancel out slug. So we need another slug to cancel out slug. So as we see here, 1 slug equals to 14.59 kg. So we write it as 14.59 kg over 1 slug. So we can cancel out this slug and this slug. Now we need to convert kg into pounds. So we use 1 kg equals to 2.2 pounds. So we write it as 2.2 pounds over 1 kg because we need to cancel off the kg. So that is why we put the kg under the pound. So calculate it as 12.58 times 14.59 times 2.2 pounds equals to 403.79 pounds. Next is classifying system units. There are 3 categories of system units. First is MKS system. Second is CGS system. Third is FPS system. In the system, there is length, mass, and type, which the length is meter, centimeter, and foot, while the mass is kilogram, gram, and pounds, while the time is seconds. As for MKS, we use meter, or we could call it M, kilogram as kg, and second as S. As in CGS system, we use centimeter as cm, gram as g, seconds as s, while FPS we use foot as ft, pounds as lb, and seconds as l. Here are the formula we need to memorize or we're gonna use in classifying systems units. You may screenshot this if you doesn't have one yet. In this row, this is the units of MKS. In this row is the unit of CGS, and this row is units for FPS. D is a distance, M is for the mass, V is for the speed, A for the acceleration, F for the force. This, I call it a penta, is for density, P for pressure, work, energy, and lastly we got P for power. Example number 1. Express 456.5 Pascal PA in FPS. 456.5 PA, you could see here on the KS formula under P, pressure, PA equals to N over M squared. So we write it as 456.5 N over M squared equals to N over M squared. M squared is the distance and N is the force. N equals to kg M over S squared. So write it as 456.5 kgm over S squared over M squared. Because the M squared here is a distance and doesn't have any other units or figure left, so we use M squared. And this could be simplified as kg over ms squared, because this m squared could be cancelled with this m. It will be just m left, and this s we move it down here, so it will be ms squared. So now we calculated 456.5 kg over ms squared. We need to cancel out the kg, so we use this 1 slug equals to 14.59 kg. So we write it as 1 slug over 14.59 kg. Cancel out those kg. Left with 1 slug. 1 slug is what we need. And what we need left is the foot. Or the foot. We need the foot left. So for the foot and for the foot, we write it as 1 over 3.28 because of this. We need the meter and the foot. So it will be written as this. Don't forget to put parentheses on each. So it will be written as 456.5 times 1 times 1 divided by 14.59 times 3.28. It will be 9.54 slug feet over second squared, or 9.54 pounds over feet squared. We use this unit because of the PA is under the pressure, and they asked for FPS, so we could write it on LB over FT squared, or slug FT over S squared, because PA has N in it, and N has this unit that we use. So FPS could use either this or this units. Question number 2. What is 35.48 Erg in FPS? We apply the same thing. We search for what this have bond with. So Erg, we see here Erg is gram centimeter squared over second cubic. So write it here. So put here 35.48 G cm squared over S squared. And now we need to cancel out the G and cm squared. We change Erg into GCM squared over S squared to make it easier and to make us can cancel things out. So we need to cancel G, so we use 1 kg over 1000 gram, because we need to cancel out gram. This 1000 over 1 kg. So cancel gram, and then we need to cancel out the kg. So we use slug. Which one slug equals to 14.59 kg. So 1 slug over 14.59 kg. Cancel out the kg. And now we need to cancel out the centimeter square. So 1 meter over 100 centimeter. This is squared. So we need another square. So we need square to cancel out the cm. So cancel out cm, squared, no more squared, and this left with 1 meter squared. So we need another meter squared to be cancelled out. So we still need another meter to be cancelled out, and we need feet for the FPS. So it will be 1 meter over 3.28 feet. So I will write it as 3.28 feet squared over 1 meter. The squared is behind the parentheses. It's outside the parentheses. Okay, so will be times in like this. So cancel out m, left with 3.28 feet squared. So calculate it as 1 times 1 times 1 times 3.28 over 1000 times 14.59 times 100. It will be 2.62 times 10 raised to 6 slug feet squared, or 2.62 times 10 raised to 6 foot strip lb. For your information, we use foot strip lb is because slug times feet squared over s squared is foot strip lb, or foot strip pounds. And we use slug foot over s squared because of this here. Example number 3. A body running at a velocity of 24.5 meters per second reaches a velocity of 38.5 meters per second after 0.0605 hours. What is the acceleration of the body in foot per minute squared? So we need to use foot over minute squared. So first of all, we need to find the acceleration, which this is the formula, v minus vo over t. So v minus vo is 38.5 minus 24.5 over t. T is time, so it will be 0.0605. The final answer of the acceleration will be 231 meter over 5 hours. Now we need to cancel out m and hours because we need to find it in foot over minute. So cancel out m, we use 1 meter over 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet. So we write it as 3.28 feet over 1 meter. So we can cancel out meters done. And now we need to cancel out hours. So we put 1 hours over 60 minutes. Cancel the hours, cancel the 5, and the 60 seconds, we cancel the s because of we doesn't need seconds, we only need minutes squared. So these are 2 minutes, 2 sets of minutes. Okay, so it will be 231 times 3.28 times 60 times 1 over 60 times 1. It will be 757.6. It will be rounded off as 758 feet per minute squared. Last example, a car travels 120 kilometers due north in 2 hours and 10 kilometers due west in 1.5 hours. What is the average speed of the car in kms, and what is the average speed of the cars in fps? And now we're gonna find the average speed. The average speed is 63 kilometers per hour by looking at the car travels 120 plus 100 kilometers over 2 hours and 1.5 hours. So it will be 220 over 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. It's wrong here. It is wrong here. It should be 1.5, not 1 times 5. So now we count the average speed of the car in MKS. We found the average speed. The average speed is 63, and now we convert it to MKS. We use meters per second in MKS and we use feet per second in FPS because of MKS system and FPS system that I said just now, length, mass, and time. We use length and time now. So it will be meter and seconds, while FPS will be foots and seconds. Okay, so we write it as 63 kilometers over hours. Now we cancel out kilometers by dividing 1,000 meters by 1 kilometer. So we can cancel out kilometers, and now we need to cancel out the hours. So 1 hour over 3,600 seconds. While we use seconds, why we don't use minutes? Because what I said just now, MKS uses meter per second, not meter per minutes. So it will be seconds here. Cancel out hours. It will be left 63 times 1,000 over 3,600 times 1. Final answer will be 80 meters per second. The average speeds of the car in FPS. FPS, as what I said, uses FT over S. FT is foot over S is seconds. So simply apply the same thing. 63 kilometers over HR or hours. And then we need to divide it by, we need to cancel out km. So we need to divide 1,000 meters over 1 kilometers. Cancel out km. And now we need to cancel out the hours. So 1 hour over 3,600 seconds. So cancel out the hours. We left by 1,000 meters. Now we doesn't need 1,000 meters. So back to the English system, 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. That is what we need. So 3.28 feet over 1 meter. Cancel out this meter here, cancel out this meter here. That will be 63 times 1,000 times 1 times 3.28 over 3,600 seconds equals to 57.4 feet over second, or 57.4 feet per second. So final answer is 80 meter per second and 57.4 feet per second. That's it. Thanks for watching and hope you learned something new.